The little girl's wheelchair rolled to a stop in the middle of the crowded city park. Hundreds of people watched in complete silence as the child, who had not moved her legs in nearly 3 years, suddenly stood up with trembling knees. Her terrified mother rushed forward, expecting her daughter to collapse. Instead, the little girl smiled through tears, took one shaky step, then another, before breaking into a run straight toward a quiet single father sitting alone on a wooden bench. The billionaire mother's face turned pale. Doctors had declared her daughter permanently paralyzed. Yet somehow, she was running toward a man nobody seemed to know. The stranger gently caught the child before she stumbled, holding her as if he had been waiting for that moment his entire life. At that instant, the woman realized the impossible had just happened, and the greatest secret of the mysterious single father was about to change every life around him forever. Before we continue this unforgettable story, if you believe kindness, compassion, and second chances can change lives, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to Single Dad Empire. Your support helps bring more emotional stories like this to people around the world. Morning sunlight covered the beautiful city park with a warm glow. Children laughed near the fountains while families enjoyed the fresh air under bright blue skies. The peaceful scene hid countless untold stories, but none was as extraordinary as the one unfolding between billionaire entrepreneur Marin Ashcroft and the quiet single father named Rowan Mercer. Marin had built one of the largest technology companies in the country before turning 40. Newspapers admired her intelligence and determination, yet none of her wealth had been able to save the person she loved most. Her 8-year-old daughter, Elara, had lost the use of both legs after a devastating limousine accident that had also taken the life of her father. Since that heartbreaking day, hospitals, specialists, experimental treatments, and expensive rehabilitation programs had all failed. Every doctor eventually delivered the same painful verdict. Elara would never walk again. The tragedy transformed Marin into someone few recognized. She buried herself in work during the day and cried alone every night. Her luxurious mansion felt colder than any prison because every hallway reminded her that no amount of money could buy miracles. Elara rarely smiled anymore. The once energetic little girl spent most days staring out windows, watching other children play while quietly pretending she was happy enough simply to watch. Across town, Rowan Mercer lived in a modest rented home with his 6-year-old son, Owen. Their life could not have been more different. Rowan repaired old boats at a local marina, earning just enough to pay rent and provide a simple but loving home. Most people believed he was an ordinary widowed father trying to survive. They never noticed the faded military posture that never left his shoulders or the old scars hidden beneath his work clothes. Years earlier, Rowan had served as one of the Navy's most respected SEAL operators, completing dangerous rescue missions that remained classified. After losing his wife to cancer shortly after leaving the military, he quietly disappeared from public attention. He wanted only one title for the rest of his life, father. Every Saturday morning, Rowan and Owen visited the same park. Owen loved feeding birds and helping elderly visitors carry groceries from nearby markets. Rowan believed true strength was measured not by victories in combat but by simple acts of kindness performed when nobody was watching. He never imagined those peaceful mornings would connect his family with one of the richest women in America. That particular day, Owen noticed Elara sitting alone while her mother answered urgent business calls several feet away. The little boy smiled warmly and rolled a bright red ball toward the wheelchair. Elara laughed for the first time in weeks as Owen made funny faces and accidentally chased the ball into a flower bed. Rowan quietly watched the children become friends within minutes. He remembered how loneliness could wound children more deeply than physical pain. When Marin finally looked up from her phone, she saw something unfamiliar. Her daughter was smiling with genuine happiness. She thanked Rowan politely but remained guarded. Years of dealing with strangers seeking favors because of her wealth had taught her to trust almost no one. Rowan expected nothing in return. He simply wished them a pleasant afternoon before continuing to help Owen feed the birds. Over the next several weeks, fate kept bringing the families together. Owen and Alara became inseparable friends. Rowan encouraged Alara to focus on what she could do rather than what she could not. Instead of speaking about impossible dreams, he taught quiet breathing exercises, confidence, patience, and mental focus through simple games. Unknown to anyone, many of those techniques came directly from military survival training and years of helping wounded veterans recover from severe trauma. Marin watched carefully. Something about Rowan felt different. He never asked who she was, never searched the internet for her company, never accepted expensive gifts she discreetly offered. He treated Alara exactly as he treated his own son, with honesty, encouragement, and unconditional respect. One bright morning, Rowan placed colorful chalk on the park pathway and encouraged Owen to create tiny obstacle paths. Alara laughed while directing the designs from her wheelchair. Rowan knelt beside her and reminded her that the human body often surrendered only after the mind had already given up hope. He never promised miracles. He simply believed every child deserved the chance to believe in themselves. Weeks turned into months. Tiny changes began appearing. Alara's posture improved. Her confidence returned. Physical therapists noticed stronger muscle responses that none of them could fully explain. Medical scans showed subtle improvements, but specialists dismissed them as insignificant. Marin dared not hope again. Hope had hurt too many times before. Then came the unforgettable Saturday. The annual community festival filled the park with music, food stands, and families enjoying the sunny afternoon. Owen participated in a children's charity race while Rowan volunteered to organize safety barriers. Alara watched excitedly from her wheelchair near the finish line. As Rowan encouraged nervous children before the race, he accidentally used a calm, commanding voice that instantly settled every frightened participant. An elderly veteran standing nearby